speaking of beards, it turns out that if John shaved his off, the top of his head would fall off.
Yeah, it's true. That's what's actually holding it on.
It's actually horrifying.
Yeah.
It's true.
I've got a massive Mohican under there. I'm not allowed to show it to anyone.
He's like one of those dinosaurs, what's the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park that kind of like spit stuff out?
The Dilophosaurus.
Although a load of hair comes out, it turns out I'm actually John Romero. But don't tell anyone.
You will not make us your bitches!
Oh, but the process, the bitchening has begun. It has already begun.
Bitchening, no.
I hope you just create a game that is called that, the bitchening.
I don't even know what it would be. It would probably be Daikatana.
It would be Daikatana 2.
No, you'd play as a guy who is being forced to play Daikatana.
Oh, that's meta. I like that.
So in the game you were being made a bitch, and in real life you were being made a bitch as well.
That's my mind just melted.
I know, right?
See
that would have been like a bombshell and game of Gamescom if that had been brought out.
Oh, that's a segue worthy of Job Bluth.
Ooh.
So Gamescom has just happened.
Whoa.
Hello.
Oh my God.
Yes, it's the game part of the Game Pass.
That's just blown my mind.
That's right. There's games in the title of the podcast. There's games in the name of Gamescom.
It's Gameception.
You guys saw some games. You played some games. We're gonna chat about games. We're gonna hand out some game awards.
Yeah, let's do it.
And we'll never be the same again.
Never be the same again. Sorry. Game Awards. Right, we're going to kick things off with a big, fat, easy mother of an award. Game of Show.
Ooh.
That's
Carl.
All right.
Well, Carl, the reason I went with Carl is because Carl went, ooh. I anticipated. I don't know. It sounded good.
Well,
Tea Party.
It's what a lovely tea party. Except it wasn't
Sexy.
a hugely brilliant tea party that was Gamescom. I'm just saying that because I didn't get to play many games. There was a lot of showing me stuff. So on that basis, on the one that I probably had the most fun with playing it, I'm going to go with Borderlands the pre-sequel. Because Claptrap. Because Claptrap. Because, oh my God, Claptrap.
Yeah,
and John, you played it as well.
I did. I got on it. Playing as Claptrap is awesome. All his crazy status effects are great. The zero gravity, should I say the low gravity does make it feel like a very different game.
Yeah.
You managed to find out exactly why Claptrap has to breathe oxygen, which has been bugging me for freaking ages. So thanks for that. That's worth looking at the interview for. We won't ruin the surprise for you here. But yeah, that was a great game. Shaping up at least to be like very different, like worth buying potentially if the whole game represents that sort of quality, and like
I hope so. I mean,
from the series, you know,
from a character perspective, from the short bit that we played, it shows that the characters are still as insane. The storyline is going to be just great, I think, from what I've seen. And like I say, Claptrap's random abilities are just awesome. I'm just disappointed that I didn't get to see the high five mechanic.
Oh man, I got to see the high five. Like, because they gave me effectively two computers because someone left. So one of them I went right down into the turning into a pirate ship ability.
Well, obviously.
The like 1812 overture. And yeah, the other one, the Claptrap's awesome. You just hold the stick and then one of your team can come over and high five you. Oh, it's great. If you do, you get bonuses. If they don't, like if they hate you, because it's quite possible that they'll hate you. Like everyone gets a debuff except you, who gets a massive
the best buff ever. Yeah, it's a brilliant mechanic and just apt for quite a divisive character because some people love him, some people hate him, and it's come through in that character build. It's just wonderful.
It fuels a cycle of hate and rage, I find. Because my partner was trying to play it properly using Wilhelm. And I just kept forcing him to just spam grenades all the time, blowing himself up and bouncing off surfaces wildly and being unable to aim. And then kept asking for high fives. Didn't take kindly to that.
We don't take kindly to people who spam high fives.
No. But you know what? That's a good shout, actually. It was... because I got to say, like... we didn't see enough of. Don't get me wrong. I wish I'd been able to see The Witcher. Like you saw The Witcher.
I did, but it's just a game. But it was basically the next bit after what Matt saw previously.
I'm disappointed to hear about that actually, because the thing is, like, they did the same thing last year with the little mini cinema. Go in, watch half an hour, interview with Dev. I was really hoping they'd do well. Actually, kind of EA did a little bit with Dragon Age, just let people play. Like, I would have liked to have seen CD Projekt do that. That would have been good.
Yeah,
and then they released it online, like the day after.
So it's kind of like I was there going, oh, I'll be able to talk about our experiences, but no, you can actually see for yourself.
Which is great, you know, for members of the public. You know, they get that presentation, but it makes the entire presentation kind of redundant. Just let people play.
Yeah.
You see, you're not winning the CD Projekt Award this year, CD Projekt. You're not winning.
Ew.
So that's why I think it's totally fine for us to actually lock this award down to only games that let us play, that let us actually get hands-on.
Absolutely, because I would have liked to have said, like, Civ Beyond Earth, but I only had a little presentation. As awesome as it looked, and as good as some of the stuff that they were showing was great. No, of the games I played, Borderlands, hands down.
Exactly. And that's why Quantum Break and The Division are going to be nowhere near this award. Basically, they showed us, like, someone else played it for 10 minutes. We're like, wasn't that great? We're like, that was pretty much the Gamescom press conference demo. It's like, no awards for you, Microsoft and The Division. That's not happening. I'm going to give my game a show to, well, I could give it to any number of Sony games that actually brought their stuff to show. I'd love to give it to any number of Nintendo games because
they bought everything.
They bought everything. They bought literally everything. We've already done a podcast on that, though, and they've already basically won E3, as far as I'm concerned. So just to change up the pace, I'm going to give it to Lara Croft and the Temple of Osiris. Which, you know what? It's the other Tomb Raider game, the Tomb Raider game that people aren't talking about, but it's also shaping up to be brilliant. It's got absolutely insane 4-player multiplayer. It's got ridiculous combat. It's got a whole new expanded sort of RPG system to it. Great puzzles that scale depending on how many of you there are, and just so many avenues for griefing. Like, I was, because you can... podium placement awards you with loads of gems to buy new stuff. You want to be at the top of that podium, and because dying gives you a score penalty, that's basically the only penalty for dying, that and a short sort of respawn time. Every once in a while you're working together, it's all going really well, and then occasionally you'll be like, oops, oh sorry Lara, oh I blew you, oh no,
sorry,
was that you? Sorry, I blew you up, and oh no, now I'm at the top of the leaderboard and I got to take all the gems. And then later on Lara will have extended you a rope to climb up a wall and be like, oops, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, I accidentally dropped you to your death and now I'm back on top of the scoreboard, bitch. Total accident though. It's just really fun, and I'm more excited for it than I am about, like, the other Tomb Raider game, put it that way. Game of show for me. They let us play it, got to interview him, looks awesome, and it's got 4-player drop-in local co-op.
Can't argue with that, really.
Yeah, boom. What?
Nice. Well, Guardian of Light was amazing. Like, that was insane.
Yeah.
This one looks even better.
It's better, yeah.
Yeah.
4 players.
And we like we've been saying, get some Egyptian mythology into a game. Boom.
Done.
That's great. So yes, 2 early games to show there. Mine. Do you know what? Like, I mean, obviously I can't really hand one out. I wasn't out there, but the most intriguing game of the show. This kind of ties into left field surprises, which is what the award we're gonna hand out next.
Spoiler alert.
I think like, I just came out incredibly intrigued by COD. More excited for Advanced Warfare than I've been for a COD game since, like, I don't know. I can't remember being this kind of curious and amped for a Call of Duty game.
If there is some sort of, like, multiplayer award, I think that one could possibly be in for a showing.
There may be. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. So, biggest surprise of the show, Carl.
Biggest surprise. I think I'm going to give that one to a little game called Bedlam, which I managed to have a quick look at. So I sat down with the developer and the writer of the novel, because it's based on a best-selling novel. And I really wasn't quite sure what to expect. I was going in to it quite intrigued by its whole premise, which is basically about a character who gets stuck in a computer game that they used to play when they were younger. Think kind of like Quake and Unreal Tournament, that sort of thing. And essentially, you play through trying to get through this game and sort of like blending into other games. So it kind of goes from really basic graphics to really sort of like up to date sort of stuff. And it's basically you just going between these worlds. And from what I was told about it, because the guy who wrote the novel is being directly involved with the development of the game, it looks like there's going to be a lot of strong crossover, a lot of world building. It looks really, really quite cool. So I'm looking forward to getting hands-on with that, because that's out in early access at the moment. So yeah, out of everything, I think that would be my biggest surprise.
It's like the book's really good.
I was given a copy. I haven't read it yet, so I'm going to start on that very, very soon. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really interesting approach to transmedia, and it's a perfect like the book is a perfect sort of subject for this sort of crossover, this experimentation, and yeah, we're going to be keeping a beady eye on it because it's quite an original little project, this one that could go really, really nicely.
Absolutely.
And they got some good voice talent in for this.
Yeah, so they got Rab Florence. And I can't remember her name. Basically the other one from Burniston, who's playing the lead in the game. But yeah, like it's shaping up to be really, really good, really, really good. So yeah, watch this space, or we'll have some sort of preview for that very soon.
Jonathan, surprise transition to you.
Whoa, that's surprising. I'm totally surprised. My biggest surprise, if we're talking about games, my biggest surprise would be Rise of the Incarnates. Have you ever heard of that?
I have not, no.
Well, Matt, you probably did because you booked the appointment, but even so, you're probably less surprised than I am, but Rise of the Incarnates. The teams behind Soul Calibur and Tekken are working together. And the one of the, what's that Japanese fighting game series with the big robots that isn't Gundam? Maybe it is Gundam. Either way, Namco Bandai's biggest fighting game studios are all working together to actually try and reinvent the fighting game. They're bringing this crazy project out, free to play on Steam, which is sort of 2x2 fighting in huge 3D environments with loads of crazy ranged attacks as well as combat. You got like one of the characters is a massive spider tank, for example. And the arenas are enormous, and it's full 3D, so they're shooting in there, fully destructible environments and cover and stuff that you can hide behind, but not in a cover-based shooter kind of way, in a I'm surfing on a wave of zombies with a massive scythe kind of way. It's crazy. It's radical. It might not work at all. They've said that it's going to be totally free to play, like the only buyable elements will be totally cosmetic. That's amazing. They've got a freaking Marvel deal to make a bunch of comics. And they're trying to make it I know, right? I just went in like, Rise of the Incarnates. All right, this is going to be like, I don't know, the next Dragon Ball Z game. So don't get me wrong, I did get to have a look at Dragon Ball Xenoverse. I'm really not a Dragon Ball fan. I would just spend the whole time thinking about One Piece. But tell you what, Rise of the Incarnates, really, really one to watch. It looks absolutely mad. Free-to-play, PC, competitive, 2v2, story-based, ridiculous range combat battling. Could be the future of fighting games.
It sounds like they've out-platinumed Platinum.
It sounds like a more
bonkers Anarchy Reigns.
Yes, it does. Well, a less bonkers Anarchy Reigns, because Anarchy Reigns has like 16 players in there.
Yeah, that's pretty bonkers.
And like crazy like level deformation happening mid-battle, and loads of AI to kill as well. But but even so, like, Anarchy Reigns is the shit. I'm not expecting Anarchy Reigns from it because even Sega forgot about Anarchy. Man, Anarchy Reigns is so good. But Rise of the Incarnates, really interesting. They want it to be a big franchise. They've got some of the biggest names in fighting working on it. I've never seen. Well, I've seen a lot of things like it, but I've never seen them combined into such a ridiculous free-to-play gumbo.
Free-to-play gumbo.
Gumbalicious.
Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah. But it depends. Are you talking about surprise in terms of games? You're talking about surprises like big fat scandal kind of.
Well, this is the thing, because next up, its biggest controversy.
Ooh.
I think
Yeah.
I think there's one major one.
Is it the lack of mention of the PS Vita during Sony's Gamescom presser?
Yeah, we did cover that in our postcards from Gamescom. Do give me a look.
But
Like,
no.
I own a Vita and I don't even really.
Do you know what though? I'm playing Danganronpa 2 and Disgaea 4 right now. I'm sorry if you bought your Vita on the premise that it was somehow a premium handheld, but if you want a like Japanese localization / import machine and you love JRPGs and visual novels, oh, it's amazing. Oh, it's so
It is
good.
pretty cool. I'm currently chipping away at Persona at the moment. It's like
Yeah,
man.
this is my Persona machine.
Persona
nice.
and Final Fantasy X machine.
Yeah, if you're looking for some strategy, man, Disgaea 4 is nice. Like that's just out. And yeah, Danganronpa 2 out next week. Look out for a review. Hashtag shameless self-promotion. But I guess the biggest scandal with hashtag Japanese. I love Japanese games too much. So hashtag biggest controversy ever is
Stop hashtagging.
okay at
Podcast.
at Crystal Dynamics have some splaining to do because it's the Tomb Raider. Like it's Tomb Raider. It's Rise of the Tomb Raider.
It really was. I didn't see it coming at all.
Yeah, no, and nobody did because they'd already announced it as a
sorry.
multi-platform game.
Yeah,
Apparently Sony didn't even see it coming. There's like an interview Eurogamer did with Yoshida where he's just going, I didn't know. I thought it was. I thought I was in your situation. I thought it was. I'm pretty sure it was coming to PS4.
And my God, people did not take kindly to this.
as you know, Matt.
I'm not entirely sure whether Spencer thought that he'd be carried out of there on the shoulders of loads of gamers and like loads of like PS4 owners as well and PC gamers coming out and going, "Thank you, Phil. Thank you for convincing me to buy your console. That's such a great idea. Now I'm going to buy an Xbox."
Thing is, he didn't even get to make the announcement. Well,
Yeah,
it was Phil
wasn't it?
Harrison. It was
Yeah.
Phil Harrison creeping on stage with this little smirk on his face, like he knew what it was like, just going exclusives. Then just like clapping his hands together, rubbing them, just like rubbing his trousers a bit.
Yeah, like twirling his moustache.
Exclusives. And then they dropped Tomb Raider in there, and the first thing the internet did was go, "Nah, what, what, what?" And then the Sony Rage Army
We're stupids.
were really dumb.
And they did this. Then they did the stupids,
Then
and then we still were like, "This makes no sense
It's
whatsoever."
the stages of video game grief, isn't it? Because, you know, you start out with
Denial.
denial, and then you start with anger, and then stupids, and then stupid anger,
Yeah, that's the
and
stage.
then everyone just...
But but
keeps
this is the
bitching
thing,
about it on
like,
Twitter. It doesn't really get much past stupids.
because we discussed this a little bit afterwards, and we were like, it makes no sense in the fact that it's a multi-platform game gone platform exclusive. Like that doesn't happen anymore. I think the nearest comparison I gave was Kingdom Hearts, in the fact that you've got all the spin-offs that are on different platforms, but the main the main entries in the series have always been on the PlayStation ones, and even like Kingdom Hearts 3, that's going to be multi-platform, but still PlayStation fans can still enjoy it. Like this sort of thing never ever happens, and it's just really, really bizarre. Like the choice. I mean, I suppose okay. There's the whole doesn't get to compete with Uncharted, which apparently has been thrown around.
Yeah, that's my
like
theory.
a bonus for Sony. That's
Yeah,
like that. Yeah, because I mean, like Sony have just like Microsoft have inadvertently sorted out Sony's scheduling for them.
they really have. Because the thing is, they've now turned around and said, well, yeah, it's exclusive for this coming holiday season, which means PlayStation gamers are almost certainly going to get it at some point with a whole bunch of DLC to kind of like sweeten the pot to buy the game.
And when they do, more people will buy it. As we saw with the likes of Mass Effect, people don't look at a title and say, "Oh, they went exclusive. That's it. I'm boycotting it forever." When an exclusive thing goes non-exclusive, more people buy it because it's like getting one over, and like you can be there like
fans
butt hurt, and fans love that stuff.
Fans
They are mad for it.
They really do. Like it's fans are always like, Mass Effect shit. Oh my god, no, we don't even want it on our platforms. And then when it comes over,
say,
I'm not even going to wait till the first one comes out. I'm going to start with the second game for some stupid reason. But boo, stupids. The point is this. I think this has backfired on Microsoft a bit. And I think it's probably going to sell a few Xbox Ones, but I think a lot of people are just going to, because they know it's going to be a timed exclusive, and because they'll have Uncharted to play, it's not going to get people to migrate to Xbox One en masse. It's going to, and Xbox 360 en masse. It's going to cause a lot of people to say, well, that console seems really like underhand and aggravating, and I can wait a few months.
That's the thing. I mean, the thing that gets me the most is the fact that, on the whole, I've never really compared Uncharted and Tomb Raider to each other. I mean, I know they're kind of like Tomb Raider comes from the essence of what Tomb Raider used to be, back when it was before its gritty reboot. But I never really saw them as being like side by side. Like, I didn't really compare them at all because they were kind of different things in a way. But now, surely they're going to be directly competing. Like the comparison is now being forced upon us because it's kind of like, well, Xbox One has Tomb Raider, PlayStation 4 has Uncharted, and now it's like, now there's going to be, oh god, next year there's going to be all of the Tomb Raider versus Uncharted articles, isn't there? That's gonna,
yeah,
like
probably,
you're going to write one. Like, I'll probably make you do it.
But it's also gonna just drum up a whole bunch of extra publicity for Tomb Raider, and that's ultimately, it's Square Enix, not necessarily Crystal Dynamics, but Square Enix who are going to win big out of this, because they don't have to go up in sales against Uncharted, but they can piggyback on its publicity and all the hype that going up against it on a rival platform will generate. They'll make a whole bunch of money, and they've made a whole bunch of money up front, and then in the coup de grace, they'll then release on PS4 and PC as the definitive edition, and then get a whole bunch of extra money, probably more than if they'd have released on just the same platform simultaneously, because they'll be releasing at full price down the line, rather than people then buying into it after completing Uncharted at a discount.
Yeah, and I think you have to remember that, like, it wasn't that long ago Square were actually in the shit. It wasn't like you could, like, you look back at the last Tomb Raider. The last Tomb Raider is the poster child for old Square. Well, for Square 2 years ago, kind of having to undergo massive change because they put all of this money into Western releases, and Tomb Raider only just broke even. It took another generation of consoles for Tomb Raider to break even, and that's so when Microsoft came along with a fat bundle of cash, Square went, fuck yeah. Oh, wait. There's a duration, right? Like, this isn't in perpetuity. Nah. Ah, fine. Oh, that's fine. Yeah. That's great. Extra money. And then we'll eventually release to a fanfare. And Sony fans, being the fickle crowd that they are, will love it.
Yeah.
Because that happens.
Yes.
So, at the end of the day, like, I mean, I've never really been a huge Tomb Raider fan anyway. Like, in terms of the reboot, I thought it was kind of like, I don't see what the big fuss is about. So in fairness, I probably will wait, and I will probably get it at a very discounted price on PC.
Yeah,
so...
and more to the point, it's pointless. It's like, the whole point of the original Tomb Raider reboot was to show how Lara went from a deeply inconsistent and badly written, horribly, terribly written character into the Lara we know today. But Crystal Dynamics then thought, maybe we can draw that out a bit more, and then she has another random gritty adventure before putting the hot pants on. Don't get me wrong, I prefer her character design now, much more. I like the fact that she wears trousers. That is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's time for awesome shooting up saber-toothed tigers while one-linering, like, fucking... Let's see Lara enjoying her job now. It's her job. She loves it. She loves tomb raiding. Let's see her raid some tombs, not being in the Arctic all insecure and then 1 second and then being the ultimate lethal, efficient killing machine the next one. And then saying, I can't do it.
Yeah, I think that was the biggest disconnect for me. It's kind of like I say, like the action worked really well, and I thought that the character development in terms of the story was good, but it was going back like between the two that was just really jarring for me.
Yeah, either way, I don't think Nathan Drake's going to be all that worried. But there you go. That was the biggest controversy of Gamescom.
Pretty much.
It really, and Sony must be laughing because it did kind of overshadow the whole where the hell is the Vita thing.
Pretty much.
Like, the 5 people who own one just went,
and we're 3 of them. And like,
the thing is, though, loads of people on our site, loads of people on DealSpan, loads of DealSpan regulars own a Vita.
Oh yeah.
Loads of people own a Vita. I mean, not compared to 3DS, obviously. But, you know, they should have... So, like, Shahid Ahmad is, like, currently, still blasting out angry tweets about how Sony are, like, still support the Vita. But it's like, yeah, the point is you're not telling people that you are.
And there's no games to kind of like support that like statement.
No, there are loads of games. There are games coming out on Vita all the time. I can't move for Vita game reviews at the moment, and in fact for most of the year. But they're not.
Well, we don't know they're there.
They're not there exactly. Well, I do, but I'm only with like one guy. You should probably tell some people at Gamescom. How about that?
No,
yeah, that was Sony. What more awards have we got to give out apart from like least, like. Ghost at the Feast award. I think is probably a toss-up between Vita and Kinect, probably.
Oh, Kinect. Oh, Kinect. Like, just go away. No one loves you anymore, Kinect.
Shape Up, or whatever it's called. Shape Up Fitness Evolved loves you. Or whatever it's called.
And that's
I suppose actually I have one award that I think that we don't even need to discuss, but I feel that we haven't like properly put it down in our list. And that's the Secret World Award for trying to be the Secret World, and that goes to Shadow Realms.
Shadow
Run? No, Shadow Realms.
Warrior.
Shadow. That
Shadow
game
Complex
that you could never remember the name of.
Oh,
what's the opposite of a CD Projekt Award?
The BioWare Award.
It's now
the EA BioWare.
Yeah, the EA BioWare Award, because I never thought I'd feel so crushingly apathetic about a new BioWare IP reveal, but I did. Actually, do you know what? That's the most passionate I've sounded on the matter.
It really is.
Normally I just cock a buttock and fart, and that's my reaction. That's my stance on Shadow Realms. Because I mean, it's Secret World crossed with Evolve,
pretty much
crossed with a MOBA, crossed with fucking what?
Fable Legends.
Yeah, it's more like Fable. It's most like Fable Legends. Like the Evolve full is like it's nothing like Evolve. It's just got apart from the number of players.
5 versus 1, yeah.
Yeah, but it's you're totally right. It looks like Fable Legends. It looks like Fable Legends multiplayer mode, stretched out over because gamers are clamouring. They're saying, BioWare, we want old school classic RPGs, the sort of games you used to make, the sort of stuff that we now have to look to like Pillars of Eternity to make.
Which is fine because Pillars of Eternity is actually kind of
and we want games like that. And BioWare going, we hear ya. Episodic 4 versus 1 Secret World. What?
I don't see how they're going to do that in an episodic manner. It's just like, it's just.
It's going to be.
I wish I cared.
Yeah.
I wish I cared.
Hey, at least it will have a season pass.
Oh God!
It's gonna have a season pass.
It's fine. We're all too busy. We're all too busy playing SWOTOR anyway.
It's going to be a BioWare game with a season pass. The fucking end of days has happened.
Yeah, it's fine. We're all playing SWOTOR. We're all too busy playing SWOTOR. It's fine. We won't notice it because that was such a huge fucking success.
It's not doing so bad.
It's actually doing all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But your point
the latest
is made,
updates have been really good.
Yeah.
Like, SWOTOR's doing all right.
Yeah. When was the last time you played it?
Apparently, allegedly.
Right.
I don't play MMOs.
No, he doesn't.
No.
I've even cancelled my WildStar subscription now.
Boo.
Too dangerous for you.
We have missed one other award as well, which is the best reveal of a game ever. Quite frankly, that happened at Gamescom this year. And
was it Settlers 7?
What was it? Shadow Realm?
No, it was not.
I'm thinking it was probably PT, right?
It was Silent Hills, yeah.
Yeah.
Because do you know what? I've had a bit of a bugbear for some time with the fact that we showcase the best in interactive entertainment using another medium's tools. Like we use CG trailers and fucking hands-off moving images to kind of promote what is an interactive entertainment medium, right? And this was the best way to fucking announce a game. You have a little tease, you do, mainly reaction videos, maybe people reacting to playing the damn thing, going, can you handle fear? Or so like, this is going to be the scariest experience ever. Then you release it instantly, so people can try it for themselves. And then a few hours later, someone discovers it's actually a tease for Silent Hills. That's after about half the watching population have shat their pants, myself
too
included.
Afraid to carry on.
Like that is. Do you know what? I'm so crap at horror games, but if I could wear hats, I would tip them all to Kojima and Del Toro for that, because it is. Oh man, that's how you announce a game.
It's very cool. Although admittedly, it's like It's like that old thing they used to do. I think they were called demos. I think they were called. But it was like that, but it won't resemble the finished game in any way. But yeah, it was in terms of creating buzz and hype, it was awesome, and it's a cool little self-contained thing in and of itself. It just shows how amazing the internet are in solving puzzles like this as well. Like it became this cool communal thing. Although Kojima wanted it to last for a week, it got cracked within like a day.
Yeah,
because the internet is amazing.
Because unfiction, basically.
Yeah. But yeah, it was very cool. Really looking forward to Silent Hills. I just think EA must have been really annoyed because they wanted to do something a little bit similar with Hardline at E3. If it hadn't been leaked, they'd have been like, "Here's Battlefield Hardline. You can play it right now." And instead, they said, "Here's that game you already know about.
But you can play it right now. Go on."
We did say that at the time.
Play the crappy beta right now.
That would have been a great drop the mic, walk off stage moment, just like, "Hardline, play it now!" Boom,
boom. Well,
it was still pretty good that they turned around and said, "Oh, now you can play it now." But it's like, yeah, it wasn't
really
nowhere near the effect.
I was thinking that was our thing. We wanted to do that. But even so, like, they didn't have Guillermo del Toro.
That's very true.
No. Or Norman Reedus.
No, a weird liver baby in a sink.
Weird stuff. Right, two more awards to hand. Well, no, 3 more awards to hand out. First of all, we'll breeze through this because it's a negative one. What was the thing you saw out at Gamescom that's probably most likely to suck?
Yeah, that's interesting. Now, I gotta be honest with you. I think it's probably going to have to be the Order 1886. Because the Order 1886 has a really cool gun in the thermite rifle. It handles like no video game armament I've ever used before. But it hates me using it. It keeps dragging me into unskippable cutscenes, QuickTime events, those rubbish little rail shooting sections where you control a character's arm that even like Ghost Recon Future Soldier and Gears of War stopped doing that. It's like, you know, those bits where you gotta, you know, in Gears of War, where you grab someone and as a shield and you can only use the pistol.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a section in the demo, the bit they were willing to show to the public, the polished vertical slice that was like that. Only, you could only control the character's arm. You couldn't control their legs or anything else. You just control the arm.
But it's super cinematic, John.
Yeah,
it's like in a special widescreen. And
I can get behind cinematic if it works well, if it's awesome. Like Uncharted does cinematic well. Tomb Raider, for all of its terrible writing, did so the cinema it had its great gameplay wise. I loved it. Like mechanically, it was great. It had some brilliant cinematic moments. I enjoyed playing it. That was the thing. I didn't enjoy watching it. I loved playing it. And this game wouldn't let me play it. The Order 1886 just delighted in not letting me play it. So alarm's going for this one. If they spin out the gameplay, make it really awesome, and stop trying to be a damn film, leave that to David Cage, then it could be awesome. Obviously, I've got my fingers crossed for that happening.
Yeah, I agree with you. Cinematic is not an end state. It's a tool. It's part of a tool set. You don't go in with a specific like goal of being fucking this game is cinematic. That's great. You've made a film. What fucking just make a film next time.
She's in the shower.
Like being cinematic can be great. But that's the thing. The reason Uncharted and Tomb Raider are great is because they play awesomely. They let you play. Especially, do you know what? For all of you guys shitting on Tomb Raider, fucking man, it takes it to the next level in terms of that sort of action adventure gameplay. It's much more expansive than Uncharted, and I love that. It managed to be incredibly free roaming when you opened up the map, and like that was awesome, while still maintaining a sense of being cinematic. And that's good when you combine all of the awesomeness that way. That's great, but don't make cinematic a freaking sell point, because it's not really. It's not an end state. It's not a goal.
The thing is, and more to the I don't hate the word cinematic, but the word filmic was used.
Oh my god! Somebody teach them to make a game.
Carl, what was your what was your worst game in Gamescom, or game most likely to suck?
Well, this is the thing. Like, because I didn't play a lot of games, it was very difficult to say that there was something that sucked. And generally, actually, what I think about it, there was nothing that was generally awful, or it seemed like it was going to be awful. There's not being sort of like average or mundane, but nothing that was that is going to suck per se.
Lame. Of all the games, this is going to be relative then.
Relative, right? The stuff the worst thing that I saw then. On the whole, in terms of average, I guess it's toss up between Skyforge and possibly Hellraid. Thinking about it, which was my last appointment. Yeah, I mean, but in the cases of both, you can see the ideas there. You can see that it's got good potential, and they both look pretty good. But generally speaking, I'm not sure whether I want to keep playing it for more than an hour. So yeah, that's pretty much it from me in terms of that.
I think as well,
short, sweet.
Just like Hellraid though, like I was excited about Hellraid until I saw that Techland were developing it. But even so, I'm still quite excited.
It looks right. I mean, it's no longer just dungeons, so you know there's outdoorsy bits.
Whoa!
So that's nice.
No way.
To be fair, I'm more excited about Techland's other project, like their zombie one.
Oh, you mean that Dead Island 2 one? Oh no, that's not Techland, is it?
Dead Island.
It's not Until Dawn. That's the. It's like
Dying Light.
Dying Light. That's the one. Dying Light, because that looked alright last year when I played it.
Yeah, I didn't get to play that.
It's disappeared off the radar now.
Yeah,
like completely. I think as well. Yeah, just Gamescom. More games, please. Just like more playing games. Less of this CG bullshit. More playing games. That'd be nice.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, admittingly, you know, how I said that. What's it called? Borderlands was my game of show. Admittingly, I did have a good bit of fun with what I did play of Dead Island 2. I'd just like to point that out. It was very limited in terms of what was there, but what I did play was kind of fun. So
cool.
Definitely check out that interview. Peeps.
Oh God, yes, please do, because Toby takes over.
Toby
the Deals Pony is there.
Got too excited. You got too hyped up on Schnitzel and Bratwurst.
You did. Well, you would too if it was there.
I have in the past. It's happened. Right, 2 more awards. Quickly, most fun multiplayer you had at Gamescom. Go!
Sorry, Lara Croft and Temple of Osiris. Sorry, Magicka 2, which is shaping up brilliantly on PS4, by the way. It's Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Oh, wow. The fact that you can now, like, do these crazy jumps, like a couple of stories high, boost in midair, like you're playing an old school Unreal Tournament game, or like Tribes, like jousting with people in midair, like playing this insane game of airborne football as you're all leaping around, passing the ball in midair, guarding the goal with a brace of massive futuristic miniguns that lock down into this insane like lead spewing mode. It feels like a totally new game now. You've got that extra dimension. You see some stairs and it's like, I can jump up there. You see a roof, it's like, yeah, I can jump up there. And then you jump up into the air and there's someone else up there and you're like firing at each other and suddenly like dashes towards you. All you do is just click the stick, hold it in a direction. You dash straight away. You can be in the air, like joust at someone, punch them out. You can be on the ground, like sort of slide round the corner. You know, you just click the stick, slide, dash round. You're already facing the right way, taking enemies by surprise. You've got these mad ground pounds. You got lasers. You got freaking laser cannons. I tell you what, there's every chance that Advanced Warfare could screw the pooch, which is why I suggest you don't pre-order it. Make this one work. You know, wait for the reviews, guys. But I really do think that this could go down as the Call of Duty that really brings a lot of life and fun back to the series, and that hardly anybody buys relative to the other ones because Ghosts really sucked.
Yeah. No, I'd agree with that. Totally.
But that's the thing. I tell you, it was fun on a bun. Played a full hour of it. It's minigun lasers death ball. Minigun laser death ball.
It looks so great.
Minigun laser death ball of duty.
I want to believe.
Yeah, I know. Don't pre-order it. We'll find out. Then buy it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Carl, what was your most fun multiplayer thingamabob?
I would say World of Speed. It's been produced by the guys who are doing Project Cars. It's kind of like the opposite side of the coin. Like, you know, Project Cars is very serious, very much for petrol heads. It's like deep customization, that sort of thing. This is very arcade, but it's a team-based racer where coming first doesn't mean that you win. Like, it's the best way to describe it is they've kind of gone for like an MMO type of thing where different cars have different roles and you have objectives while you're racing, so it might be to slipstream behind a car for a certain, like a cumulative amount of time, so you might have to do 30 seconds in total. Whoever does that gets a huge bunch of points. Whoever does the best drifts gets a huge amount of points. And then, of course, if you win the race, you get a huge amount of points. And whichever team has the most at the end, that's the team that actually wins the match. And I gave it a go. Like, I admittingly, my team lost, but I could see huge potential. Like, I was just imagining, like, the three of us playing it. Over comms go, like, Matt, you going, oh god, I've crashed, no, I can't do the drift. It's like, oh, quickly drift, but I'm also trying to stop the other team because I've got this muscle car and I'm ramming cars out the way, and John's just screaming because his car's going insanely fast and, like, he's, like, doing sick burn, like, afterburn type things. It's just got such potential for team-based stuff that I'm really looking forward to seeing how that's coming along. So yeah, that's my multiplayer pick.
That sounds fucking rad.
And it's going to be free. It's going to be free on PC.
Game night
for you and me, yeah, and for game night, pretty much. So yeah, that surprised me a little bit, I would say. So yeah, looking forward to that one.
That sounds awesome. That sounds really, really cool. Yeah, like lots of intriguing stuff, lots of fun multiplayer stuff. Evolve came out of Gamescom with a fat bunch of awards. Like, people were raving about it.
Yeah,
I'm still.
I reserve judgment for that one. My interview is currently live. It's a big one. If you have any questions about it, I ask all the questions that you might want to ask. Whether or not Denby Grace actually answers them is up to you entirely. He's a producer, so naturally is used to giving the runaround. But it'll be interesting. I had great fun when I played it as the monster. And not as the melee monster, as the flying monster. And I spent my whole game just running away.
The Kraken, wasn't it?
The Kraken. I unleashed the Kraken. I ran away, ate loads of animals, just kept running away, became my ultimate powered up state, and then just returned to the humans and god stomped them instantly.
Yep.
That was fun. It wasn't fun for the others. They didn't have fun at all. So whether or not it's going to be consistently fun and whether or not it's going to have that sort of longevity, we're going to find out. But either way, hit up that interview. I'll have my preview ready soon. I will say that the build I played seems to be a lot like just generally a lot sexier, a lot more awesome than the one that Brendan got hands on with.
I think it's going to come down, because I've played it a couple of times now. I really like it. I really like the idea that what they're going for is really great. It's just you've got to get 5 people. Like you've got to. I don't think matchmaking is going to work for it. I don't see how I'd have any.
Yeah, they're going to have some true skill stuff sort of simmering under the surface apparently for matchmaking.
But you've got to have a headset. You've got to be in constant contact with the humans.
And the thing is, they don't have voice chat between the monster and the humans as well, which. It's annoying because apparently there used to be a perk that let the monster listen in to human communications, which I think would be really fun. But I told them in that interview, and apparently they're going to consider this. I would like the monster to be able to communicate with humans that are really, really close. Like, the humans can hear what the monster player is saying when they're really right next to it, i.e. are being eaten by it. Because a lot of the time I really wanted to taunt them and be a massive, massive troll. Because I was there like, now I'm scoffing. I assumed they could hear me, and I didn't hear any of my smack talk because I killed them and ate them within the space of about 10 seconds.
Amazing.
But apparently they're considering that now because that could be super fun when you're being scoffed and you hear the monster going, That's all I'd be doing, like,
I got
your tears taste so tasty.
Nom, nom, nom,
Yum, yum, yum.
And I've just got this
failure tears.
You just like reenact Commander and just go, when I said you were the last one to die. I lied.
Amazing. Right, so we've had a fat bunch of awards, but there's one final troll-tastic question that we must ask. We've all got to come to a consensus on this.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's that time. Who won? Hang on. I'll get to it. Who won?
Again. That time's John.
I can't. I'm sorry. Who won Gamescom?
Sorry. What was that? Didn't quite that.
Who won Gamescom this year?
Who won Gamescom this year?
Gamescom.
Right. I'm gonna say not Microsoft, because while their stuff they were solid, they put esports presenters on the stage and it was awful.
Yeah, like no one's ears won when they.
No. There are also like less specious reasons as well, like the fact that actually they didn't bring Scalebound, they didn't bring Crackdown, and actually they were quite stodgy and yeah, I don't know. For me, I think there's a case that Sony won. They revealed loads of really cool looking games, indie games, some games. They put developers on stage and showed the games. That was great. That was really great. And also, like, I think for me it's a toss up between Sony and Nintendo.
Do you know one thing Sony did that, like, the more I reflect upon it, the more awesome it is. They let Michel Ancel close press conference day.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome. With a new game from a new studio that he's made.
But Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Yes, but John, you even said at the time, like, you went, I don't know what Wild is, but I absolutely want it.
Yes!
It better be Beyond Good and Evil 2. Better be a code
in disguise.
See, Beyond Good and Evil 2, do you know what? It might happen. When it does, I'll be psyched. But do you know, I can't be sad that didn't appear there. Like,
no, and do you know what as well?
I just love him making games.
Yeah. I think Sony won it, even though the lack of Vita was embarrassing, even though it came off as at times a little bit arrogant, but then again they had every right to, because they sold 10 million consoles. Not to me, I still don't own one, but at some point I will. Probably when Wild comes out. And that's the thing, they announced loads, rather than just sitting on their laurels and getting out a big bald bloke to talk about a comic book adaptation, they came out and announced loads of really great looking games from small, hungry studios who really want to make a success on that platform.
They also did...
And PT, and Cardboard Box. Cardboard Box is a go-go.
Oh man, yeah, that was
They also did the best bit. I thought it was corporate trolling at the time when they announced SharePlay. And... like, a part of me just burst out laughing when they announced that, because that looked so much like an old, like, now dead Xbox One feature that I had to laugh. Like, I thought that was...
Yep. But here's the thing.
Astounding.
The other reason why Sony wins as well is they were willing to show their stuff to the public. I mean, yeah, Microsoft brought along a playable demo of Sunset Overdrive and, like, Project Spark. Sony brought along Project Morpheus. Put it on the public floor and said, hey guys, try it out. They brought along like Bloodborne in an alpha state just so the public could try it out. They brought along Until Dawn. That's newly announced. They wanted people to try that out. They also brought along the Order 1886, and that was a shame, but it did have a cool gun, and I still think it could work out all right. And yeah, once again, like, Kojima pretty much rocked it again as per usual.
Yeah, I was going to say...
There's almost a case to say that Kojima... You know what? Because not only that, but he also announced that Metal Gear Solid 5 is coming to PC. He announced that at Gamescom. Kojima won Gamescom.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that. I would absolutely agree with that. Kojima won Gamescom.
Kojima won Gamescom.
Well done, Kojima.
Well done, mate. Well done. Good effort.
Woo! Woo! Kojima!
Big love to me, Kojima.
I was waiting. Set it up. And you knocked it
every time. Awesome. So that was Gamescom.
Yes. Right. Roll on Eurogamer.
Roll on EGX. Woohoo!
Yay.
And TGS, of course.
All right, Last Guardian, here we come.
Last Guardian.
Yes.
Actually, no, I think Sony have already debunked it.
Yeah, but that's exactly what they'd say if they were actually going to announce Half-Life.
No, you see, they've done it now. They have to announce a playable demo.
Yep.
Like, drop the mic in Japan.
Do it. And also Kojima will be developing it as well, because apparently he develops everything now. And that might be okay.
That might be okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Wonderful stuff. Well, we've got loads of Gamescom coverage still to come, both on site and on our YouTube channel. Make sure you're subscribed to that. And we will catch you in the very, very near future. Have a wonderful weekend, folks. Bye.
Bye-bye. I am a bit annoyed with myself. I've just remembered a whole section of Gamescom, like by Friday morning, that I could have actually talked about in terms of like best game and stuff. Totally forgot. Batman.
Batman, dude! You just love Batman! Emergency Batman section!
Emergency Batman section, because I totally forgot.
Runs Gamescom. Batman.
But this just goes to show just how tired I was, because I've just totally forgotten about
you got to play
Batman.
it, didn't you?
Yeah, I got to play a bit of Batman. I got to play with the freaking Batmobile. Like, I didn't get to get a sense of the huge scale of the city. Admittingly, it was only a small bit. But my God, it was awesome. Like, there's takedowns involving the Batmobile now. Like, if it's nearby, you can do a takedown where basically Batman uppercuts the enemy in the air and then the Batmobile shoots it. It's just so good, and it looks fantastic. Like, in terms of next gen, oh my God, it looked great and was fun. Also, takedowns involving the Batmobile.
Yeah, you probably could have mentioned that.
I totally forgot about it. Absolutely forgot about it. And that just goes to show just how tired I was. Also, Adam West in Lego Batman.
Yeah, man.
I'm not even kidding. Like, he's not only sort of like there as Adam West. There's an entire like unlockable level that's based on the original Batman TV show with the characters, everything else. Adam West voices it as well, narrates it, and a lot of characters have like stealth options in it. And Batman's, the 1960s Batman's stealth option is he basically just raises his cape to look like Dracula and like walks really, really slowly. It's just everything about it is just joy as well. Also, despite the fact that, as Matt pointed out in his article, that the whole season pass for and day one DLC for Shadow of Mordor is just annoying. That's also looking really good. I didn't get to play it. That was like just a sort of gameplay walkthrough that they did. But man, that is going to be YouTube-tastic. Just because everybody's game will be completely different.
Really?
Well, yeah, because the way that it works is they randomly generate enemies for you. That's including names. That's including abilities as well. So
that's
like he was
fucking rad.
And he was basically saying like because he brought up because you've got kind of like a pyramid of enemies. So you've got your big generals, then you've got their like lieutenants, and then the people below them and the people below them. And he was basically saying, right, we can go for this person or this person or this person. And like he basically got the journalists in the room to vote on who to go for. And he was like, oh man, there's this little ninja bloke that I would really like to go. Basically, a stealthy guy with a crossbow. But everybody voted for this to go after this shaman. And he was like, oh man, I kind of wish to go for that, because the next time when we reboot the thing, he might not be there. We might not see him again for the entirety of Gamescom. So in terms of that, that's pretty cool. But then on top of that, if you die, you don't go to a checkpoint or get instantly respawned. It kind of like, because you're a wraith, you respawn like several hours at game time later. And in that time, those AI enemies might have backstabbed each other to kind of like progress up the ladder in the army. So someone who may have been targeted may have been assassinated, another person may have killed another few people and progressed, or they could have been targeted for assassination and survived and therefore made more powerful. It's that sort of thing. I think is going to be really cool in terms of YouTube-ness, but unfortunately I didn't get to play it, so I couldn't confirm whether it was all staged or not. But if what they say is true, it could be really, really cool.
So it's a shame they've fucked it right up the arse by doing that season pass then.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
I'm looking forward to doing my write.
I'm not going to play.
Yeah, I'm going to write up about it, and because unfortunately I couldn't film it. But I'm looking forward to write up about it, because that'll be a really interesting comparison. And who knows, they might actually change their tune with the whole season pass if enough people kick up a fuss, was what I was going to say. But yeah, day one DLC or not, I will almost certainly play it.
Nice.